What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing a game, or sorry, not a game, a tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So this is actually going to be, this is going to be our last ever tier list on current gen, which is absolutely crazy. The next time we are going to be doing a tier list in this game will be on next gen. So it'll be a completely different game, and it'll be interesting to see what's changed. Like, will players' releases change? How different will the badges be? And just how different an overall game mode it will be. Because obviously, even with the same animations, we had the same animations last year, metas change. Like, metas always change in games, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what is happening with this game mode. So yeah, anything I say in this video is specifically for current gen, which is PS4 and Xbox One. If you guys are watching this later on in the year, it might change up based on next gen. And to be honest, I think by the time we make our December tier lists, it will very much be, I don't even know what's gonna happen to the game mode. Will we have to split everything between current gen and next gen? Will the game be like drastically different or a slight bit different? It'll all be very, very interesting. Either way though, let's get on to it now. So first of all, we're gonna go with Cavangeli. I mean, he's C tier. He's not in the bottom two tiers. He's kind of mobile. He's got a massive player build and he shoots really well from the corners. Is he good? At this stage, not really, but man, he was a god tier player at the start of this game. A lot of people really, really liked him to start the game, and again, is one of the players in this game that I really think is usable from day one. Definitely not a center that I would use nowadays, but not awful. Artist Gilmore. I mean, I'm going to put him C. He's big, but he's not particularly mobile. Doesn't shoot the ball particularly well. And by doesn't shoot the ball well at all, has no 3-ball. Mid-range isn't particularly great either. But he is 7'2", quite a big wingspan. So he's a nice tall center. Not a guy I would use really, which is why he's down a C tier. If you want, I don't think you could really argue that he's either top or second tier. If he suits your playstyle, he's probably a B tier center, but for me, he is down here in C. Then, like, looking at these cards right here, George Mikan, I can't not put him in S tier. He's still really good. He's still got a really, really good release. Overall, a really good card. Shoots the ball well. Is just overall kind of mobile. Well, somewhat mobile anyway. Corners, obviously money. Good in the post. Good interior defense. Just an overall good card. And just because he's out on day one does not mean he's great. Does not mean he's bad. Then we got Sam Perkins. Sam Perkins going C tier. He plays no defense. And yes, Sam Perkins can shoot the ball. He has my least favorite release in the game. Brook Lopez base. Some people like Brook Lopez base. Like, Ty really likes Brook Lopez base. And again, it's all, like, with this game, especially early on, it's personal preference. What I always say is, like, at the end of the year, there is, like, 1 to 2 playstyles that are objectively the best. Like, when we get to all 99 overall players and every card can do everything, you better believe playing lanes, doing all that stuff is the best. But there's so many different ways of playing the game because there's so much more strategy involved in early game because not every card is perfect. So for that reason, there's a lot of cards that certain people like and other people don't because they're not perfect cards. And that's the same thing with Sam Perkins. I don't like his release and he can only shoot the ball, so that's why he is down in C tier. Then we have got Al Horford. Al Horford is, I don't like him shooting from the corners. Like, I really don't rate him at all in terms of shooting from the corners. Horford, in my opinion, is just, I don't even know how to describe him. He's a decent defensive player, decent in the post, decent rebounder. It's just, again, the fact is he's a 3-point shooting center that can't shoot in the corners, which is grim. Like, if you don't understand how important shooting from the corners is, you have not, or shooting from the corners is, you haven't replayed this game this year. And also, the fact that he's got no hot zones is not good at all. Like, or sorry, you got cold zones about the corners is not good at all. Then we got Willis Reed. Willis Reed getting the D tier. Would I put him worthless tier? Is he small? He's undersized, can't shoot the ball, isn't particularly fast, getting the D tier. Nate Thurmond. I mean, he's like Bill Russell level. He's definitely a lot more difficult to obtain than Bill Russell, but I think I'm going to put him in here. I think that's probably the best place to put him. So we're going to put him into A tier. Again, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily put him here because not a lot of people have him, and he's definitely not worth 150 tokens, but he is very similar to Bill Russell, and he shoots the ball better from mid. JaVale McGee getting to D tier. He's athletic, he has a bit of length, he can't do anything. He can't, like, tell me what JaVale McGee does right now. Like, genuinely, I don't think he does anything. Then we got Ralph Sampson. For the cheese factor, Ralph Sampson's going into A tier. The thing with Ralph Sampson is that if you do not know how to play 2K, but you know how to post up and tap square, he will drop step so many people. Like, he is a very, very low degree of difficulty player. Like, you can be terrible at this game, and you can still score a bunch of points with Ralph Sampson. Is he a card that a lot of people have success with? Not really, but the fact that he's got such a high ease of use, I'm going to put him in A tier. A little bit like the Taco Falls of last year, that guys that are terrible at this game can still have success with Ralph Sampson. Then we got Bill Russell. Bill Russell he's super quick. Like, Bill Russell is super, super quick. Don't get me wrong. He's also got he's a good perimeter defender. He's a really, really good perimeter defender. As well as that, he's a pretty good post defender, a little bit undersized, but again, he's arguably the best defensive player with defensive center in the game, so you can't not put him in A tier. We got Bob Lanier. I mean, some people like Bob Lanier. I am not some people. I am not a fan whatsoever of Bob Lanier. I just think there's so many things wrong with the card, and I just don't know. I think his mid-range is good. His three-point shot's not good enough. His mid-range shot, a lot of people swear by it. I'm not the biggest fan. It's good enough, but he's just... I'm stumbling over my words right now. There's just something about him. He's not good. Boogie Cousins getting the D tier. Boogie sucks. I'm sorry, Boogie sucks. At least, like, Bob Lanier is fast, and people that like his release will hit middies with him. I'm not one of those people that will hit middies, but if you like Stacey, will. Boogie sucks. He's slow, doesn't play defense, can't shoot the three, decent mid-range, and okay post-game. That's about it. He sucks. For me, anyway, he sucks. Then we got Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer is good, but he is a weird player. You have to learn how to use the stick to use him. Like, he hits everything. He steps inside the three-point line in the corner, so he won't shoot corner threes, which is a problem. But he will hit every long two if you know how to use the stick. Players will leave him wide open because the release is broken. If you know how to stick shoot, he will hit every single shot. And for that reason, he's still going to B tier. Bronze or Silver Class is pretty good. He's going there. Hakeem C tier. Hakeem's really not great. Like, decent post player, I guess, and that's kind of really all he is. Does not bring much else to the table, not gonna lie. Ben Wallace, get into worthless tier. Ben Wallace is so bad. Ben Wallace can't score a freaking layup in this game. He can barely score a layup. Can't shoot the mid, can't shoot the three, can't shoot a free throw, isn't particularly fast laterally, isn't the best defender in the world, is undersized. He's terrible. Can't shoot a post hook, can't shoot a post fade. He is awful in this game. Alonzo Mourning, I mean, B. He's a good shot blocker. He's a big body, and he can hit the occasional three-point shot, and he's a decent mid-range shooter. He's going to B tier. Kristaps, this is a hard one for me to put him, but I'm putting Kristaps in B tier. I'm sorry. The fact he's got no hot zones, no one can shoot with him. I'm sorry. Like, again, he's got a good release. Or say he should have a good release, but Brook Lopez base is like the most inconsistent thing in the game. His stats are really good. He's moderately fast. He's got unbelievable height. The only thing he's good at is blocking. His shot blocking. He's a decent interior defending center. I leave Kristaps wide open when I play him. Like, whenever I play Kristaps, I paint it. Because people are more inclined to shoot with Kristaps than anybody else. The amount of people that I've seen go like 0 of 9 from 3 with Kristaps, it's not just me. Unless Kristaps is on the right wing, he is not going to hit it. He's not going to hit consistently. Or unless you're really good with his release, which I'm not. So he's going into B tier. Really not a good card. Dikembe, I mean, getting to C tier. He plays a bit of defense, but he's no offense. Mark Eaton. I mean, Mark Eaton getting to C tier as well. Mark Eaton's huge. And so with Dikembe and Mark Eaton, they're both very, very tall. Mark Eaton is a huge player build. Neither of them can shoot really from 3. Neither of them can really shoot from mid. Dikembe is a lot more athletic. I'm telling you, Mark, right now, Mark Eaton is not as good as Rick Smits. If Rick Smits was here, he'd be in B tier. The only problem with Rick Smits is he only has like a 60-something block, but like Mark Eaton's so slow that he's just not it. There's nothing really that Mark Eaton does well enough to be to get over C tier on this list. He's not it. He is not it at all. Then we got Moses. I gotta put Moses wherever Bill is. I know he has similar speed to Bill, but his lateral quickness... No, he's a much better shooter than Bill Russell. So even though he doesn't quite play as good perimeter defense, he plays similar interior defense, runs the floor like Bill Russell, and he shoots better. And you can also put clamps on him, so he's going A tier. Pau Gasol. I don't like Pau Gasol. I've seen some people use him against me. I just don't really like his release. Again, he's not the worst player in the world. His jumper's alright. He's somewhat athletic, somewhat decent to post, but I don't think he does anything well enough to go above C tier. Then we got Chris Bosh. B. Chris Bosh B. He is better Porzingis for me. He's definitely not good enough to go in A tier. He really is not. Even though he suits my playstyle, like I can guarantee you I will have more success running Chris Bosh than any of these players in A tier, but like objectively he's not as good. Objectively he's just not as good. Like I need a shooting center to play my style, but he's just not as good as these guys. Just straight up he isn't. If the way I'm looking at it is if I'm playing against a dude using these guys, I'm a lot more worried than if I'm playing a guy using Bosh. As much as I like Bosh, if I'm playing against Bosh, I'm never worried. Then we got Patrick Ewing. Man, there is no player I've hated as much in the history of any 2K game as Patrick Ewing in NBA 2K20. Maybe Kyrie in 2K20, but I'm pretty sure Patrick Ewing 2K20 might be my most hated player in history. He's good. As much as I hate to admit it, he's good this year. Shoots the ball moderately well. His release is kind of slow, but it's not like unusably slow. And he's a good card. He's a really good card. Shaq, best offensive rebounder in the game, doesn't read, and dunks, doesn't read much else. Bargnani. This is one of the ones where, this is where my personal opinion comes through. If someone knows how to use Bargnani, he's so dangerous. He is moderately quick. He was moderately quick, also blocks every shot, and is a beastly rebounder. I don't know what it is. Bargnani could never rebound. He was never a defender. He could hit wide open in real life, but 2K made him a sniper, a shot blocker, a rebounder, and quick. Like quick for a center, that is. So Bargnani, S tier. Bronze range extender and an unbelievable release as well. He is, I don't know why I said earlier he's the best primary center, because there's one guy who's just way better than him, but in my opinion the second best primary center. Greg Oden, get into C tier where you belong. Good defender, but doesn't really do much on offense, but again he's a lot better than JaVale McGee and Boogie Cousins. Yao Ming, wherever Ralph Sampson is. Yao Ming, Hall of Fame drop stepper, 7'6". Doesn't shoot the 3 ball as well as Ralph. Is a lot slower than Ralph, but he's even glitchier in the post. So for the same reason as Ralph, that his ease of use is so high, one of the easiest players to use in the game, I gotta put him in A tier. Like, that's really the only reason. Is he a great card? No, but the fact that he's so easy to use, I gotta put him in A tier. We got Karl Anthony Towns. Cat's just like way better Porzingis. Cat is getting into A tier as well. An absolute beast of a card. Again, he's quick. He's really quick. You can also put clamps on him. I'm pretty sure you can put... Am I wrong in saying you can put range on him? I wouldn't do it anyway. His hot zones are a little bit awkward. Not the best corner shooter, not the best release, but again, he's just a much better Porzingis. Then we got Rafe. Rafe's going into A tier as well. One of the best pick and pop jump shooters in the game. His hot zones in 4 of the 5 spots outside the 3, as well as base 28. If you don't know what base 28 is, it's like a Cooper release. One of the easiest releases to green in this game. He is a dominant player, especially if you know the guys to put around him. When I was initially, I don't even use him on budget squads, but when I started using him in my team limited yesterday before I got a ring, he was ridiculous. Playing him at the center position with someone like a John Stockton in a pick and pop, he will not miss if he's wide open off a Hall of Fame diamond pass. With his catch and shoot, his hot zones, his high rating of 89, and he's, for as pick and pops go, he's great. Not as quick as Karl Anthony Towns, but so much better shooter. I gotta put him in A tier. Not quite Bargnani though. Then we got Ilgauskas. Ilgauskas, the only problem with Ilgauskas is that he's only got 20 something speed. That's the problem. He's slow. He's slow, and next gen might be different because players don't get back on defense. Like, I've played against him a few times. I've just started throwing touchdown passes to my center, and he struggles. He really struggles whenever he really struggles against me because I run like a Draymond a center, but he always does fine against a Bargnani. He's just so slow to put in S tier, but offensively he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. One of the best corner 3-point shooters at the center position, as well as being 7'3" with a fantastic release. You got to put him in A tier, but he's very, very slow. If you do play, and again, this is where playstyle comes into account. Like, if you're someone that likes to play lanes and run up and down the floor a lot, like someone like a Ty playing that playstyle, Adrian Zagauskas is worthless for you. Heck, LaFrance is worthless for you as well. However, if you're someone that plays like me, Adrian Zagauskas would be a lot more effective than, say, a Ralph Sampson. Say not Ralph Sampson, than say even a Bill Russell for the way I play. And now, objectively, the best center in the game, Dave Cowens. Dave Cowens is by a country mile the best center in this game. I completely forgot he existed. He's like better Blake Griffin. His release is base 1, it's fine. Trust me, I've used him enough. Dave Cowens' release is perfectly fine. He will still hit basically everything from the corners. He costs a little bit to badge up. It's kind of similar. It costs a little bit to get, first of all. It costs a little bit to badge up. He's similar to Blake. He doesn't come with every badge, but he can get basically every badge. Stats-wise, he's fantastic. Great rebounder, great shooter, great inside. A little bit undersized, but you know what? For me, anyway, he's a beast. And definitely goes in as the #1 primary center in the game, and it's not even particularly close. Then we got Dino. The dinosaur is going into A tier. I'm sorry. Like, the reason why I'm apologizing is because I know for a fact people are underrating this dude. The dude's got like an 8-foot wingspan. Can shoot the 3 ball from the corners if he's wide open. Has hot zones everywhere inside the mid-range. One of the best releases in the game. As well as that, the big thing, because there is a guy later on that has an 8-foot wingspan as well, that I'm putting in a couple of tiers lower. The difference with Dino is Dino can hit free throws, and he's got unbelievable speed. He's got ridiculous speed ball and acceleration for a big man. He's got pro dribble sigs as well. He can cook people on the perimeter with his dribbling. Dino is ridiculously good. And while, yes, this Dino is probably on the lower end of A tier, he's definitely not a perfect card. I'm telling you this right now, there is a 90% chance that when it's all said and done this year, actually, I don't know why I'm saying that, because Goat Yaming and Goat Kareem were a thing last year. When it's all said and done, we will have a Dino Raja that at some stage in the year will be in the conversation for best center of the game, because of just how ridiculous his animations and everything is. His stats are awful, except for his speed, but he's still ridiculously good. And said 8-foot wingspan player is Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt's slow. Wilt is like slow, non-shooting Dino Raja. Like, Dino is just Wilt, but better in every single way. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, there's nothing that Wilt, apart from strength and like post game and stuff, which who uses it in this game, that Wilt does better than Dino. If you want to play in the post, there's no point using Wilt, but he's got an 8-foot wingspan, so he's going C tier. Then we got Marcus Camby. I mean, B. He's good enough defensively, but he's not great defensively. He's not fast. He's not Dino speed. Like, he doesn't shoot the ball. Terrible release. I mean, he's on the upper end of B tier. I'll put him on the lower end of A. I'll put him on the lower end of A because he's a decent defender. So I'll put him on the lower end of A. Andre Drummond getting the worthless. Andre Drummond sucks so much. He's slow. He can't dunk. So, you know, he's slow. The only thing he can do is dunk and rebound. Slow, can't play in the post, can't shoot a free throw, can't shoot a mid, can't shoot a 3. He's horrendous. He's absolutely terrible. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. This is the last tier list we are going to be doing on current gen. Well, that's the list I expect to do on current gen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.